Well, all right, Solace. I just found out that that Spaces of Opportunity is really close to Arizona Worm Farm, which I'm really happy about. It ties directly into everything that Spaces of Opportunity does anyway. It only makes sense, but I didn't think that things would be so convenient in life. And that's a huge win because if I can, we're gonna set up a dual working relationship, um, so that Solace can really get the wheel turning. Mind you, we never begged for Solace. So there's a farm, guys, and there's this dirt trail and everything like that. There's a nice big ditch, and that thing is scary looking. It's scary looking, but safe looking at the same time. If you dig it. But I wonder if any of this land is actually claimed and how much of it is, if so. But if you're in the area, help a brother out. Solace needs a hub of operations. Can you dig it? Hopefully that makes sense to you. All right. So now, if that makes sense to you, when the grid goes down, albeit temporarily, wherever you are, you have a plan, and that's all that you do. And if it stays down for more than 3-4 days, if you have been separating your garbage like I told you to, then what you will have is you will have a pleasantly smelling house still, or at least a house that just smells like you, however clean you are. See what I'm saying? And so we want that before we want the smell of rotting food everywhere in the apartment complex, subdivision, housing neighborhood, you know what I'm saying, high riser, before anybody has that. Because then I'm going to tell you something. The only people that are getting away from that type of stench are the ones in a high riser. Right? I have a theory about that as well, but we'll leave that aside. So you might as well prepare now for a grid down, because it's going down. Hope it's temporary, but yikes. All right, so this is an example of what one dumpster looks like during a waste management services grid down situation. Mind you, Trump is furloughing about 750,000, or at least he threatened to furlough at least 750,000, and I'll turn you around here so we can talk. But he threatened to furlough 750,000 federal workers every day until he gets his way. So what that means is the grid down situations that I was discussing with you are not just real, but we have no time to prepare for it. None. What that means, I thought we were going to have at least 2 years, y'all. What it means now is this. Since there's no time to prepare, the only time that we have is to act, which means they skip right over, buying supplies and stocking up and things like that. And we go right to, what do we do when? Not if, but when. And so this is what I will tell you, so that you and your apartment complex and your community at large cannot be disgusting as all hell. Separate your garbage. First of all, when you eat something that is from a single-use wrapper, a package of cookies. See you dig what I'm saying? One of those little Debbie cakes, things like that. When you eat something like that, rinse it out. You don't have to, but you have to understand that plastic is not as readily biodegradable as a cucumber. So what you're going to do is you're going to have to wait 60 years. We're not going to be around. Since we don't want to go through that, what you want to do is you want to get all the food, get all of the sugar, all of the biodegradable stuff from inside the wrapper out, if you can, okay? And once it's all out, then you can go ahead and you can separate it. All of your man-made synthetics, plastics, and of course the non-synthetics, woods. Well, wood you can compost, so leave that out. But steel, the tin cans and so forth, Get all of those and put all of those together and have them dry. That way nothing stinks. All right, now I'm gonna keep it 100. So you know I'm a stickler for righteousness. You can call it set tripping if you want, but I'm getting robbed. So now, this little whatever is disrespecting a set. How you walking off with my product? Really? You just walking off with my product? Wait a minute. That's a weak. Okay, never mind. He cool. I got my foxtail here. I'll show you the sprouts in a minute. I'm having a lot of failure, which, you know, it's expected. You're not about to master anything immediately if you're not like a Renaissance man or Prince. One of them brothers that taught themselves how to play like 80 instruments or something. So, and that's not me. So, steady as she goes kind of thing. Can you dig it? Steady as she goes. All right, so we're gonna mess around here and get this nice and orderly. All right, and then I'm still going like so. One thing that really bugs me, and I can tell I'm gonna do right now, because no one has the solution, is weeds. Now weeds bug me, and I don't think a lot of people realize there's a simple solution to this, and it is not mulch. Mulch is extremely healthy for Bermuda. If you can see, this is very, very fresh mulch. This is mulch that I watered, and you know, they say that this is how you handle it, but it doesn't look to me that this is how you handle it. So I'm gonna try my method, and then we'll see how it fares. But let's see if I can get you a picture of these sprouts here. See, those are not weeds. You see how they come up all round in their leaves, like good children. Look at that one. That doesn't look like a. You know what I'm saying? That don't look like a weed. That looks like a lettuce. As a head of lettuce to me. We'll see. We'll see how things go. You know, and it's a slow go. So I got some more watering to do, but it's a nice little start here. The garlic's still down. It hasn't done any real moving just yet. We'll see what happens. Okay. That is not as green as I would want. Although they are just starting off, they are ruby red lettuce. So, and I got enough sprouts here. Holy moly, and enough. So this ruby red is an awesome germinator. I'm going to do ruby red. Ruby red is a winner. And I think it's from Seed Harvest, but ruby red is a plan. And I can tell that this is not an ideal aquaponic environment for them. And the only reason I'm saying that is because it seems to me that over here we got this really healthy one or two. Oh no, that's one. It's growing the leaves. We got over here, but they're laying down. I dislike that a whole lot. And so, you know, whatever is gonna make it, what we'll do is we'll let them go. There's really nothing you can do right now. Truly is let them go and see who wins, basically. Even this, I'm not gonna do anything about that even, because I want whoever's gonna win to win, kind of thing. And it's kind of messed up, but I mean, it's a slow go, but it's a for sure go. Well, all right, so let's check on our others. There's our melon plant. I think that one's coming back to the crib today. All right. here's the rest of what we had. All of this is getting cold. There's nothing else coming up. Hey, Missy. All right, black woman. I paid $10 for lunch today. Breaks my heart. You know, hey, shoot. All right. Well, all right. In any case, we've got to water. Got to water our lettuce. There are a couple of lettuce sprouts coming up. That makes me happy. Say, I'll tell you just like this. What I'm doing is a labor of love. I hate everyone, and I'm terrible at getting along with anybody. Anybody who's ever gotten along with me, it's an accident. And I don't mean that I mean they accidentally got along with me. I mean it. They probably just weren't really sensitive to what I was saying when I'm like, I don't really like anybody, and they didn't know what I meant. But I'm gonna turn you around here. I'm just watering the bed. Well, all right, Solid. So we're almost done. We cleaned up all our toys. We're getting ready to do some more inoculation tomorrow. We got ourselves 3 trays and two 6-seaters, and of course 2 little pots. We're gonna get busy, and we're gonna start tomorrow with some more lettuce. I have a method that I'm gonna do now, which is 1 seed per hole, 1, and I'm going to plant them deeper at least. I know that you can't plant them too deep, but I'm gonna plant them a little bit deeper. All right, and so for now, for the most part, we're done. We're gonna go ahead and we're gonna put the rest of our toys away. We got some. I got my rake out. One thing I did notice is to be honest, is there's a hose that I could use for our compost on this side of the farm, and I had noticed it before, but I failed to act. Like, brother just got too caught up with stuff, and I'm busy playing and stuff. That's all a farm is to me. Oh, sorry. Truly, that's all a farm is to me, is recess. Like, a lot of people, I'm so serious. A lot of people, just hard work just kills them. And to me, it's, if you're doing, well, this is what they told me when I was in English class in 7th grade, Mr. Markley. Not Mr. Markley. Whatever. That was Miss Listenberg, but Mr. Markley actually told me in 10th grade. In any case, if you do what you love, you never work a day in your life. I always thought, like, shut up. Nobody asked you any. And then, as a grown man, dude, it's the truth. Imagine you're doing what you like for a living. That's what I'm trying to get out of this. Plus, feed you and your family. Not that I like you, I dislike all of you. And you have to understand that I'm serious. But I have the ability to dislike you and feed you and want to see you live. It's just that serious. Or simple. Just that simple. I don't like anybody. But I don't want to see tears and blood. All right, so we're going to do a little bit more beekeeping. This thing outside of the girl's house. What I'm going to do is I'm going to show you inside the girl's house real quick. Well, all right. So since I wasn't doing very much talking at all in this portion, I'll just let you know. As you can tell, they're opening up these bee boxes. I don't know if you can tell this part, but they're just doing routine maintenance and teaching the youngin how to do the routine maintenance, how to grab the frames and so forth. Some of this you can hear, but the truth of the matter is, I think that the most important part is the fact that you need to learn the temperament of the bee that you're dealing with. You see videos on YouTube where they're unprotected and things like that. These are the types of bees they're dealing with. And I can tell you from the nature of what they are, this is literally probably one of the most docile breeds, where they want you to, and I mean this, they want you to shut the fuck up. Do not come in their house, their front or side yard, yelling. They do not appreciate that. And they will sting that ass if you come in their house yelling and shit, and acting stupid. However, if you're a respectful guest, if that's just how you are, you can do what I do. Right? You don't need protection. They're going to see you as a non-threat. They're going to see you as, non-disruptive, and they'll treat you as such.
How heavy is that, Andrews?
Really heavy. Ooh, you can see the line almost there. Should we take a snap? This one's way lighter. Yeah, 100%.
This one's solid.
This one's way heavier.
Yep. You can kind of slide these over. Just take a look. Timmy worm, Timmy.
That's good. What's this build up kind of on the side?
Hit it on the top.
This is general maintenance. You just gotta go and clean.
I feel like this might be new though. What do you think, Isaac? It looks a lot lighter, doesn't it?
Yeah, it does.
This one doesn't really have anything going on it yet.
So you remember the lettuce. This is the ruby red lettuce. I did not, and I did at the same time, expect this type of yield. I talk about this a lot, but they're bowing down. They're not gonna make it. And thinking of what aquaponics is, I knew that this would happen. To be straightforward, if you notice, the leaves are not as green as they should be. And if you don't believe me, look at this. These are transplants. See the yellowing of the leaves? Nitrogen makes leaves green. So it looks like what's happening, and I could be wrong, but it looks like what's happening. It looks like what's happening is the system has to reload. So when you slowly load an aquaponic system. If you quickly load an aquaponic system, you'll shock the system. What I mean by that, in this case, is you'll drink up all the nitrogen and nutrients because you fully loaded your system. Now the fish will be happy for a certainty. The fish will be happy because of the clean water. I mean, that's always going to be like that. However, there's not enough nitrogen. So when you're doing aquaponics, these things are supposed to be kicking butt. They're supposed to be growing fast. And right now, because it's just getting around to the cooler season, the system has to now more or less reboot with all the nutrients that it had, which means we've got to add more fish. So let's run over here real briefly before we go to the fish, and let's just check out what else we got on the farm. We got some stuff going on here. Looks like this one's like, all right, so now I'm gonna need some attention, and so are these. This is all gone. This is all getting cleaned up right now. I like how it looks like we're doing some cleaning here. I'm gonna join in just a minute, but I'm gonna clean this first. Well, all right, Solace. This is my favorite melon. This is a canary melon. If you haven't tried a canary melon, you are behind the 8 ball. The sky is falling, the earth is gonna explode, and we're all gonna die if you have not tried a canary melon. But let's go ahead and transplant this. Let me see if I can kind of get a good angle here so you can kind of see, you know, more or less what's going on here a little bit. Okay. Maybe I should turn you around. Looks a little better. All right, so. Just as I thought, it's easy. It's, you know, to hold that up. Okay, so we'll get some of this Bermuda. Yeah, that worked just fine. But yeah, we'll get this Bermuda up. This Bermuda is amazing. I don't care what anybody says. Bermuda grass is like a soil lifesaver because Bermuda gets into everything. Bermuda will not allow erosion. If you have really loose soil, you better get you some Bermuda. Like if you have, you know, you're scared of erosion type soil, oh yeah, get you some Bermuda. You'll be just fine. There we go. Boom. All right, so now we got our ground softened up a bit here. Let's take our spade here and let's go ahead and dig right in. So what I like to do, I've been doing this for, you know, pretty much all my life. Seems like forever now, but what I like to do, I like to get a quarter pipe, and before I dig, I like to get a quarter pipe, and when I dig my hole, before I transplant, there's no such thing as a quarter pipe. I'm just talking. I was gonna see. I want to see how many of y'all didn't realize I was talking. Oh, look at the root structure. Oh, look at them roots. Oh, baby, we might live. I'm gonna put you a little bit deeper. There you go. Get your little ass down there. There you go. Boom. Yeah. Get your little ass in there. I don't expect that this melon plant is gonna do well at all. It is wintering season. And so, it's actually very likely, in fact, that this plant will not make it. I'm fully aware of that. If I become pissed off later because it didn't make it, somebody please remind me, you know that it wouldn't make it. And I just got bitten by an ant for disrespecting the set, apparently. Didn't mean to disrespect the set, but he was indeed set tripping. So, okay. I'm going to get him some compost and a stake. All right. Let's go! They got the sky opened up in the greenhouse today. All right? Aquaponics greenhouse. So, I'm going to turn you around here. I'm going to show you what's going on. Well, all right, goddammit. I know that this video is going to be extra long. I don't care. Well, we got one showing some life right there. Look like that one's ready to unfold. We just watered everybody. We gave everybody some water. Chocolate cake. Kabadama. But there's that for now. Let's go ahead and check on our aquaponics. We did a lot of work today at the farm, oddly enough. And we're gonna go back outside in a minute here and I'll show you everything I did. This is our lettuce. Oh, why are they wanting to stand up now? Oh, look at them standing up. Look at them trying to stand up. Whoa, didn't expect that. Okay, I don't think I'm still not gonna eat that. But go ahead and show you what we did here. All right, let's see. we do all right today? Cool. All right, so we got our compost pile growing pretty nicely. That's nice. And what we're doing right now is we're starting to clear this out. So we pulled a lot of this out. We're gonna finish out. Matter of fact, it doesn't do it justice. You don't know how overgrown this was, but you do know that there was a sunflower here if you've been watching. And look at this. So I did this right here, and that's where I stopped for today. So there's that. We're gonna continue. I'm planting some hollyhocks over there. You don't know what a hollyhock is. These things get, 6 to 9, 12 feet tall, multiple blossoms and stuff like that. It's really nice. That's a pomegranate tree. And that's Miss Norma's. I got tempted just now. I won't lie. And then I remembered that belongs to a black woman. All right, so boom. All right, so we're done for today. We're gonna go home. I'm gonna get something to drink. There's that.